Seventh grade, we're in week 12, talking about the layers of the earth. And today we're talking about something very special. By the end of today, you should be able to explain Alfred Wegener's observations and the theory of continental drift. Now, Alfred Wegener made an observation. From that observation, he made a hypothesis, a best guess. He collected evidence that would support or refute his hypothesis. So after he decided what he was going to be talking about, his hypothesis, he went out and started looking for evidence that would either prove it or disprove it. Alfred Wegener was born in 1880. He was a meteorologist and explorer. In 1910, he noticed that South America and Africa appeared to fit together like puzzle pieces. He was certainly not the first person to notice this, but he was intrigued by the idea and thought a lot about it. He wondered if the two continents were once joined and then moved apart. He set out to find evidence to support or disprove his idea. Here are some of the evidences that Wegener and his supporters collected for continental drift. The continents appeared to fit together, and not just South America and Africa. If the continental margins are included, the parts that are just off the coast under the ocean, the fit is even better. Wegener found fossil evidence that the continents were once joined together. The same type of plant and animal fossils are found on continents that are now widely spread apart. These organisms would not have been able to travel across the oceans. So how did the fossils get so far apart? Some of these fossils were of animals that were land-living animals, therefore did not swim. Some of these fossils were of animals that were freshwater animals, therefore would not survive the saltwater conditions. Some of these fossils were fossils of plants, which don't uproot themselves and travel to other continents. And all of these fossils were found in similar areas if you were to put the individual continents together. Fossils of the seed fern, Glossopteris, are found across all of the southern continents. These seeds are too heavy to be carried across the ocean by the wind. Mesosaurus fossils are found in South America and South Africa. Mesosaurus could swim, but only in fresh water. Cygnognathus and Listosaurus were reptiles that lived on land. Both of these animals were unable to swim at all. Their fossils have been found across South America, Africa, India, and Antarctica. Wegener thought that all of these organisms must have lived side by side. The lands later moved apart so that the fossils are separated. Wegener found rocks of the same type and age on both sides of the Atlantic Ocean. He thought that it could not be a coincidence. He said that the rocks must have formed side by side. These rocks then drifted apart on separate continents. Wegener also matched up mountain ranges across the Atlantic Ocean. The Appalachian Mountains were just like mountain ranges in eastern Greenland, Ireland, Great Britain, and Norway. Wegener concluded that they formed as a single mountain range. This mountain range broke apart as the continents split up. The mountain range separated as the continents drifted. Climate is found in zones around the planet. Warm tropical climates are mostly found near the equator. Glaciers are mostly found near the poles. Wegener assumed that these things were true in the ancient past as well. Wegener looked for evidence of ancient glaciers. Glaciers are found in very cold climates near the poles. The evidence left by some ancient glaciers is very close to the equator. Did glaciers once exist near the equator? Wegener knew that this was extremely unlikely. However, if the continents had moved, the glaciers would have been centered close to the South Pole. What about the tropics? Coral reefs are found only in warm water. Coal swamps are also found in tropical and subtropical environments. Wegener discovered ancient coal seams and coral reef fossils in areas that are much too cold today. Wegener thought that ancient coral and coal plants existed at about the same latitude where they are found today. He again stated that it was the continents that moved. So in summary, Alfred Wegener made an observation. He observed that Africa and South America appeared to fit together like puzzle pieces. Then he went out to decide or to find out from evidence if he was right or if he was wrong. Wegener then asked an important question and set about to answer it. Were the continents once joined and then they drifted apart? Wegener collected a great deal of evidence to support his idea. Wegener's evidence included the fit of the continents, the distribution of ancient fossils, the placement of similar rocks and structures on the opposite sides of oceans, and indicators of ancient climate found in locations where those climates do not exist today. So, what do you think about Wegener and his observations? What do you think of his theory of continental drift? Is it possible? Explain what you've learned today in as much detail as possible. If you feel you need to, go back and view the video one more time, and then move on to the other activities. Thanks for being here. Have a great day. Bye now.